Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. This is the first time in a while where the music isn't audible. Give it a minute. Just give it a minute. Sometimes it takes a while for it to pick it up. Yeah, hello, hello, good morning. Even though it's no longer morning here, but whatever. I definitely actually did prepare this one properly. I hope so. I finally remembered how to use the PowerPoint. I spoke too soon when you started talking, the audio worked. The little bit of delay. Like, I actually have to speak into the mic and then it starts picking up the background music. It's a funny little trick I figured out. Anyways. We're ranking Anime Boy dorm rooms in celebration of the 5-year anniversary of Twisted Wonderland, because why not? I definitely did not forget that it was the anniversary of the game. I mean, I knew it was this month, but I didn't remember that it was like after Sebek's birthday. I was pleasantly surprised. By the way, I joined Twitter for the first time last night, and when I did, I gave you a follow, and I posted a little something you might want to see a few hours ago. Oh boy! I don't think it notified me of anything. Yeah, I did not get any notifications. Oof. Are you sure it was the correct one? I might have to check back again on that. Sometimes it just does not notify me of anything. It's broken, but I still use it. I've prepared proper setup this time. Because I finally remembered how to do it, so Ortho quiz is probably coming up again some other time. It'll truly be a surprise pop quiz, because I kind of don't know when I want to do that, and I don't know if I want to update it. Unless you have 2 Twitter accounts. Yes, I posted it to the right one. It doesn't show me anything. It does not show me anything. No notification, no nothing. That's very awkward. Are you sure you didn't accidentally use the Tumblr name that I have? I don't know. There's not a way to sort on Twitter by latest? I mean, it is. My notifications are by that. I mean, I now have like my DMs closed mostly because of bot spam. That is weird. And then again, I did not at you because it was supposed to be for everyone to see and not strictly directed at you. We'll figure this out eventually, I guess. Came prepared today. We are ranking the dorm rooms. And as a little bit of a refresher, the dorm room situation in Twisted Wonderland goes something along the lines of all first years are in like a 4-person room. All the second years are in like a 2-person room. And third years and dorm leaders get their own room, but I think the dorm leaders, like, they get like a better personal room in comparison to the third years. From what I remember. I know for a fact that the dorm leaders get their own private room. Because why not? They deserve a little privacy for being the best. And I also, for ease of access later when this is all done, I made my own little list because I don't think this exists on, like, the official tier list makers. Like, to make a tier list based off of, like, the dorm rooms. So, I had to make my own. And you'll notice that there's, like, 3 of the same room. Because that's, like, we're doing Ramshackle, too. Ramshackle's included here. And Ramshackle goes through, like, an evolution. As we can see, if I switch the screen correctly. First slide. We're ranking our room. Not all first years have to share rooms with 4 other students. Our player is the outlier. The Ghosts and Grim don't count. Yeah, of course Ramshackle doesn't count. Ramshackle is its own thing. It's an old abandoned dorm that wasn't in use until now. Anyways, the evolution of Ramshackle dorm. You will also notice I have a shrimp and a flower here. That just also counts for you. I mean, the universal sign for you in the fandom is the shrimp. But, like, the alternative for, like, a female one is a flower. If that's what you want, but most people just use a shrimp no matter what. But since there are 3 versions of this room, I just used those 2 and Grim to represent it. The evolution of the Ramshackle room is so funny to me, because, like, at first it is this horrendous thing. Truly a disaster zone. Disgusting. Dusty. I'd probably die of allergies in here. And then not that long later, you get a decent room that looks livable. A little cute, a little bland, but I like it. I like the aesthetics going on here. I'm a fan of, like, a classic Victorian haunted mansion look, I guess. Before it became a haunted mansion. And then the super glammed up version of the Ramshackle dorm room is lovely, but it is also not real. It is a projection. If I remember correctly, I think it's either Vil who gives you, like, a little item for the room that makes it look all fancy, because this version of the room only exists after chapter 6, because it gets destroyed. The evolution of this room is so funny. Because it goes from horrendous conditions to livable conditions, back to horrendous again because it gets blasted. And then livable conditions, but now in style. It is so funny. Which puts... Hold on. which puts Ramshackle's evolution. We're gonna move stuff now. We're putting the first version into the disaster zone because it is literally a disaster zone. I wonder how Ramshackle looked like before it was abandoned. Probably not what it looks like when it's refurnished. Like, I want to know what it really looked like. But I don't think we'll ever really know. The current livable conditions version that is actually still default. It's up here. It's okay. It's clean. It's a little bit bland though. But the final version of Ramshackle Room goes all the way up to here because I like how glamorous it looks. It is beautiful. It is revived. It is rejuvenated, even though it's not real. It looks better though. I really like how the fireplace gets cleaned up. Nah, I don't know. I just prefer the look of it in the fancy version. Because it just looks more Victorian. Like before, it just looks okay. It looks like it looks a little bit too much like an actual like Victorian house or whatever, like an old house. Because I've been to a bunch of those before. So it's like, it just looks like one of those. It's not that fancy, but then this one looks like the really fancy versions that you see in like the movie. I honestly just like restored Ramshackle because of the modesty and humble look. Yeah, I get that. I do like it. But I'm all for that fancy glam Victorian era stuff that's like not very modern. Just because I just like that aesthetic so much more. Anyways, with Ramshackle out of the way, let us begin Hearts Labiole. And we're starting with Riddle. Yeah, I made the slide look pretty. Riddle's... Okay, all of Hearts Labiole in general looks chaotic on the inside. Like, on the outside, it looks like a little Victorian manor house thing. On the inside is absolute chaos. Particularly in, like, the lounge room, the hallways, and the bathroom there. Oh boy, if you are disoriented, you would get lost in there. But the rooms, on the other hand, actually look like they make sense. Again, this is leaning more into my personal aesthetics again, because I kind of like what most of the Hearts Labiole looks like on the inside, even though it's absolute utter madness in there. Riddle has the best bed. Yes, he does. Again, the dorm leaders get the best rooms. And Riddle definitely does have the best room. I like the red, I like the black, I like the white. I like the bed canopy thing. I love these things. I want a bed like that, but I do not have that. My bed is big enough for one of these canopy things, but I do not have one. And you see he got all his little books. He's a very studious boy, unfortunately. Also, I like the little love seat in the table here. It's just really chill. Like, I like the vibes of his room so much. And yes, because I am very biased, he is going into S tier decorating because yes. Expect a lot of the dorm leaders are probably going to be here, but there are exceptions. Riddle's room is SSR tier decorating because I love it. It is pretty. It is my aesthetic. Alice in Wonderland in general is a good aesthetic. And that's what this whole dorm is. And that's what I love about it. Even though the dresser looks like it makes no sense, but at the same time it's really pretty. The chandelier too. Also, every dorm room has like a version of it with like no lights on and like evening with like a lamp on. But I just use everyone's day version because it's just like the default version of the rooms. So yeah, riddle. I love it. Alice in Wonderland is entertaining, but I prefer Wizard of Oz. To each their own. I only remember watching the first, the original Wizard of Oz movie, and I don't really remember much after it. I remember seeing Oz or whatever, that was kind of okay, but I don't remember anything of it. Other than it's supposed to be like the origin story of the wizard behind the curtain. Ooh, the con man. But yeah, I don't really remember much about Wizard of Oz. Next one! Ace and Deuce are here at the same time because they are roommates. So technically this is still the same room, and you can tell because of the dresser, you know? That dresser right there, that's Deuce's dresser, and it kind of bleeds over into Ace's image. So, we're doing two at the same time, because they share the same room. They were roommates. And again, like, the first two rooms are a little bit more bland, I guess you could say, because it's like, there's 4 people in here, you can't really decorate it. But the way that their personalities bleed through into their sides of the rooms, their 4 little corners, is really cute. Because, like, Ace is part of, like, the basketball club or whatever, so you see the basketball just chilling there. I don't know how. Is that a light or something? Is that a trophy? I think it's, like, a trophy. Yeah, it looks like it's on a stand. And then you got all of his little card tricks, and oh, I forgot to mention, every single room has a hidden Mickey, but I don't feel like pointing them out because I don't even know where they all are. Actually, every background has a hidden Mickey that I don't feel like pointing out because I don't know where they all are. But Ace's is clearly on the cards right here. Because, like, he do magic tricks. He do sleight of hand stuff. I'm not spoiling his unique magic yet. In case you don't know what it is. But, yeah. The only thing that could have made the stream better is your own dorm background if you made one. Well, I mean, I claim ramshackle, so... That is my room. My room's the fancy version of ramshackle. And now we go over to Deuce's room. Deuce's corner of the same room. Where you see he has like these little posters up here because he likes those magic wheels. I forgot what they're called in English. I still refer to most things by the Japanese version. So he has his little magic wheel posters because that's what he likes to mess with mechanic wise. He's really into that. And then you have his jacket, which I'm just realizing is his former delinquent jacket that's been there the whole time. I like that detail, actually. I didn't even notice that. I'm personally not a fan of Ace and Deuce rooms, but I do like how they both bring the Tweedle energy. Yeah! They're 2 idiots. But they combine to be one functioning brain cell. And so we move Ace and Deuce's rooms to the a little bland but okay, because again, these are like shared rooms. But I like how you can see which side belongs to who, just based off of what they have lying around. You know, again, it's pretty high anyway, because I do like the not ramshackle, I do like what Hearts Labiel's interior design has going on, because again, I enjoy the color red, so that's already something that's in its favor. So they're going in, excuse me, they're going in a little bland but okay, because they're clean. As we progress further, you're going to realize some of these characters are not clean. Next up, Cater! He gets his own room, but it's, as you can tell, it's a little bit set up differently from Riddles. Riddles feels like it's a lot bigger since it has like a little sitting area. But Cater's is... I like Cater's room, actually. I mean, all the rooms I think have, like, canopy beds or whatever they're called. So, like, I love that. I love that, I love that thing on the beds. It just feels so fancy. Arts LaBelle is definitely my favorite house just because of their value, so I do agree with your take for that reason. I just like it because of the aesthetics. I kind of forget what their values were again. I know it was like strictness and rules basically. But Gator has a lot of pops of orange in here. Which is interesting because red and orange are kind of close in color anyway. I like his jacket here. It looks more orangey in this image, but that's actually brown, I think. Cause he has his birthday cards already with the pajama outfit, and apparently that thing is supposed to be more brown and beige than orange. Unless he has multiples of this little fuzzy jacket thing. But he's got a bunch of cute little pillows in there too. I like the rug. The rug looks so silly. I love it. I like the colors on the bed too. Yeah, it's like a nice orange. Also a skateboard. In the corner there. He do be skateboarding. I said Borton. He do be skateboarding. And now we get a better look at the chandeliers because I think Riddles has like too much light on it. But like, they're flowers. The chandeliers are flowers. I love that. But he definitely keeps his room clean. That's gonna be important as we progress. Yeah, it's organized. You got his music stuff in there too. Camera. He a very social media lad. Wrong thing. Okay. I did not want to do that. But anyways, Gator's going above Deuce and Ace, mostly because there's more going on here, like the rug is bigger, it's organized, it has a nice pop of orange in there, because like, Ace and Deuce don't seem to have any colorful sheets. You get points for not having colorful sheets! But like, I like it. It's nice. Speaking of Alice in Wonderland, did you know that there was actually a live-action series in the 90s where Richard Attenborough, John Hammond, was the White Rabbit? I know that there's many versions of Alice in Wonderland. Don't know anything about the 90s one. But, last Hearts LaBelle boy. Trey. He's got his little hats in the corner. And a lovely shade of green. The complementary colors in here are on point. Cater's definitely has more of like a bright, warm orange going on in there to contrast with all like the deep reds. And then you got Trey here with the green, and it feels like more calm in there. More chill. But there's not much going on in here. Other than he does have his hats over there. And everybody has these little rose lamps. Because flowers are everything in here. Even has like a little clover pillow. The 90s one was by Disney, but it was an attempt to modernize it. By modernize, I mean have it take place in a time where it was made and the Tweedles were rappers and dancers. Oh, I think I've heard about this one. Some things from the 90s are just so... Why? Like, why? But anyways, Trey's room, because the more mellow colors, I'm gonna put it a little bit lower than Cater's. You'll notice that my interior design sense is probably kind of like loud. His room is kind of calm though. So I put it here. I mean, there is more going on, but it's still very like put together. I mean, with Cater's, you kind of saw like, you know, his music stuff kind of in the room too, kind of laying around. More of like his activities, but with Trey, all you see is his extra hats. That's about it. He's put together. Because on the surface, he is put together. On the inside, he got some stuff going on in his brain. Unresolved issues that are not being well taken care of. Now we're on to Savannah Claw. In here we have a dorm leader who needs to clean up his room. And the only reason it is not worse is because Ruggy is the one who cleans up this room. But the Savannah Claw rooms are really like, I like it. I don't know how to describe it, but I like it. It's like, you know, if it wasn't so messy in here, I would probably rank it higher, but no, he throws everything on the floor. And the fact you get to share a room with him for a time is, kind of annoying. Cause like, really, you live like this, sir? Can't even be bothered to fix anything? But yeah. There's like indoor plants and like he's got a chessboard because he do be playing chess. He do like chess. I like the African motif of Savannah Claw though. Were it more tidy, I'd rank it up higher in the top tier. Yeah. It gets so many points knocked off for Leona just being Leona and leaving clothes everywhere and not caring. Cause like, come on, man. The closet's right here. Also, I like this light. It looks very pretty. So yeah, Leona, you're not the worst. Your room is not a disaster zone. But please clean up. Please. Your room is a mess. Ruggy can't keep up with you. Next we have Jack. Again, he only gets like a corner because again, he's a first year, so he's sharing with like 3 other people, but since there's no other characters of Savannah Claw, he's the only one we get to see. Leona is just like Scar, not wanting to actually work for and earn his desired fame just without the murder or tyranny. Also, Leona is actually good at leading people. He's like actually a genuinely good strategist. He's just, because of like the pure laziness of just not wanting to do anything himself. Like, he's capable, but if he could get other people to do it, he'll just do that. Anyways, Jack! He has a bunch of cacti because he loves cacti. They're like his favorite plant. He takes care of cacti. It is very adorable. And one of those cacti are probably a gift from Ruggy. Because that was one of his card stories. Ruggy gives him a cactus. I think it was his first birthday card actually. Yeah. He likes plants. He is a plant dad for cacti. And also he works out, so there's a lot of like equipment in here for that. And the bed is very simple. It is just very normal. It's not the most crazy thing, but I like the touch of the cacti. Are the Savannah Class students supposed to be humans or animals? They are considered under the category of human. Technically, they're called beastmen in Twisted Wonderland, and they're under the same kind of category as like humans because they're still mortal. Unlike Fae, who are like immortal and like they have a different way of conducting magic. That's like the best way I can explain that. Because like that's what sets apart somebody like Jack from somebody like Lilia or Malleus. Because Lilia is very like bat inspired, but like not really. So they're half animal, half human. Yeah, I think it's Leona's hometown event. They kind of explained a little bit of the origin of beastmen. Because animals, I think, could use magic. And that kind of explains the existence of beastmen. But I could just be speculating here because I don't really remember if they ever explained anything about it. I just know that they still fall under the category of human. Same thing with, like, mermaids. And, like, the fish people. They still fall under, like, the mortal category. So, anyway, Jack's room. It gets extra points for having nice cacti. It's nice, it's clean, and a little bit lived in, you know, because it has all his, like, little workout supplies kind of strewn about, but in a neat little manner. So he gets extra points for that. The cacti add to it, you know? We love a man who takes care of his plants. Next we have Ruggy! There's not that much going on in here other than this little warthog figure and possibly a picture of him and his grandmother on the desk. Also, that room is minimalist, don't forget, I think. Yeah. Savannah Claw's a little bit on the minimalist side, at least for, like, the base dorm rooms. Ruggy's loud bed sheets, though. Personally, I just don't really like animal prints because they're loud. But not in a good way. But, yeah, his room is very simple, very basic for a Savannah Claw room. There's not really much going on in here. Not really much that shows you what he likes, what he dislikes. We just get a warthog and a picture of him and probably his grandmother. Because yes. Yeah, there's not that much going on. Sorry, Ruggy. Your room is okay. It's definitely good, though. Like, it's a nice room. It's a little too simple for my taste, so it's here. You're going here. There's probably going to be a lot here. And a little bland, but okay. Next up, though, Azul's room. Now we're going into Octagonal territory. And it is fancy up in here. You're, like, transported underwater into, like, a marble castle or something. I still don't really know how Octagonal works. I think it's literally underwater. But, like, on the inside, it's, like, an air bubble or something. But, yeah, it's sleek in here. It's clean. You got his little safe. His, like, little collectible things up here. On this fancy looking shelf. And then this thing, this portrait with a bunch of little dots, that's his coin collection. He likes collecting coins. That is his hobby. That is his activity. And more things that he collects up here, I think. I'm honestly not sure what this is. I think it's potions for, like, other people who in the dorm that he makes for other people. The bed reminds me of the ride vehicles for the Little Mermaid park ride. You're not wrong. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because it's like the shell thing. Oh, I see it now. Also, the fact that the bed is like in the wall and that's like just in the wall. It's not really a headboard. At least that's what it looks like. But anyway, the aesthetics, the undersea aesthetics. There's little knickknacks everywhere. I like that shell chandelier. Again, dorm leaders are probably automatically going to be up top at the SS tier. The SSR tier. Azul Ashen Grotto, you have taste, you have class. You have a collection of coins on your wall. You're up here. I love me a good sea-themed room. It's the way the shell part of the bed comes out that gives me the resemblance. Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't notice that sooner. Because, like, I've seen those things. Next, we have the Tweels, who actually share a room together. So this is funny. If you can kind of line up these images and it's just the same room, but like with a wide shot lens or something. And it's so funny. Just completely different. Like, you can tell whose side of the room belongs to who. Floyd's side of the room is a disastrous zone. It is horrendous. He is a creature. He has food right above his bed. He eats food in his bed. Therefore, his room is classified as a disaster zone, in my opinion. Because only a goblin eats in the same room where he sleeps. You absolute creature, you. Jade's half of the room, on the other hand, is very, like, put together, and you can tell that he just, like, makes sure nothing of Floyd's crosses into his path. He has his little mushroom jars because he's fascinated by mushrooms. It's so funny. It's even better because Flotsam and Jetsam literally share brain cells and are the same character but split in two. Meanwhile, the Tweels are two different people that actually get together as one when it comes to certain tasks. But the whole Jade Leech and his mushrooms things is so funny. And it's like, you could tell Floyd would not want to cross over because he does not like the mushrooms. But yeah, Jade's keeping it clean, and he's got like a nice little rack for his fancy little shoes. Meanwhile, just Floyd is a mess everywhere, even though he also cares about taking care of his shoes. He does not care about keeping his bed organized. So, yeah. One of these two gets to be, you know, ranked higher than the other. Jade would be a Mario fan because of his love of mushrooms. Most likely. Floyd is joining Disaster Zone category because of the fact that he actually eats in that same room. And that's just something that personally bothers me. It's like, I cannot eat in the same room where I sleep because I know for a fact I am not very organized as a person. And I do not want to risk critters hiding in my junk. Jade is up here. He keeps it very clean. He keeps it very sleek. He has his mushrooms on the wall, but that's about it. Everything else looks very standard for what this type of room is going for. He appears put together. Now on to Scarabia. And this, I like this a lot. I love this a lot. It's very pretty. I love the aesthetics going on in here. I love the little chandeliers. I love the bed. Again, the canopies. I love these things. And then there's like huge open air windows. You could say that Jade is the most fun guy of the cast. That is true. Yeah, Talim's room is like, I just love the aesthetics going on in here. And the windows of just the dorm in general, and all these like cozy little pillows. His room is ranked high for me because I just love the bed so much. Like, yes, I love these things with the canopies. I love all the pillows in here. And I think that's like a little first aid kit or something, just chilling right there. There's not much to say, but I adore his room so much. It's just, I love it. I love the Scarabia dorm's aesthetics as well. Like, I love the interiors going on in here. It's very pretty, very open. Very fancy. I love it. Kalim's room is the one that looks most royal, in my opinion. Oh, it's one of them. It's definitely one of them. I do love it. It's just, I want to hang out here with you. Me and Kalim just be chilling. Like besties. And then here's Jamil's room. It's a little bit more on the simple side. It's very simple. Basically, if you took off all these pillows and his sneakers and like the music stuff on here, it would be like the basic Scarabia room. The basic Scarabia room is like very bland. But you got Jamil's stuff here. You know, his music, he dance. He got his sneakers just chilling right there, you know. It's very simple. And casually lived in, because there's so many extra pillows here. And there's a Mickey on this little orb. Again, I'm not pointing out every single one because I don't even know where they are. Yeah, it's just living quarters. It's not that fancy, but it's very organized. Kalim has one up on Jamil in his dorm. Yes. Yes, he does, because he's the dorm leader, and the only reason Scarabia looks the way it does is because of Kalim's family, I believe. They paid for the renovations. So, Jamil's, you know, he keeps it clean, he keeps it nice. And the aesthetics of Scarabia in general place him up here. Because yes, I also like the detail that a lot of the desks are like the low to the ground ones. So like you sit on the floor with like the pillows. I like that detail a lot. It fits the vibes. And that's what I'm here for, the vibes. Next up is Pomfiore. And it is very royal looking up in here. And I love it so much. The apple pattern on the rug. Pretty little fancy looking, I forget what that pattern is called. But on the bed sheets and on this chair, I love this little chassis chair. Like, this is also up there with like my favorite aesthetics. I love this stuff. The chandelier, the mirror. He has his like, he's kind of blocking it, but like he has a yoga ball and a yoga mat up in here because he do be doing yoga. That is one of his favorite activities to do, I think. Also, this kind of canopy thing. I like this too. It just, it makes you feel like a little princess. And the stained glass windows are really pretty. I love them. This room looks like something you'd see in Cinderella's castle. Yeah, like the pretty stained glass. This is... it's more like what Snow White's castle would probably look like. Yeah. I love it here. And then vanity with like the little stuff. I love this room. I love it. And Vil does a good job of making it look beautiful, that's for sure. He's automatically up at the top. We know where this is going anyway. Boom. Because yes. Just the general aesthetics of Pomfiore also give extra points. And I just love these little fancy chairs. They're not very comfortable in real life, but they're so pretty. Ambi is a simple woman. Bigger is better in her dorm room tastes. I am a little bit of a spoiled person, okay? I need a big room because I love big bed. You can't have a nice room without a nice big bed. Next up is Appel. And I think his room's actually one of the cuter ones for like being in a 4-person space. A little bit more character going on in here. And yes, he has a bunch of apples in his room. His family sends him a bunch of apples. It's a funny little detail and I love that. And then he has this like, this pillow. His poison apple pillow, the rug, because he comes from like a little town that's like very famous for like its apples. So he has a lot of like apple stuff in here. And then he has this like little corkboard thing, which I'm assuming is filled of pictures of him and his family members. And he's like one of the youngest people in his town. It's a kind of like a small town area. Like, he's like the second youngest because he has like a baby cousin. He's currently like the youngest and most spoiled now. I'm a little surprised there's not a Cinderella-inspired house. There probably was at some point, but now we just have Mozu. Yep, we have Tren. He's our Cinderella representation. Yeah, I like the pattern. Like like the pattern on the bed sheets really feels like it's something like his grandma made or something, and it's really cute. This room feels very cozy and very princessy, and I love it. I love it so much. But it is still on the simple side, you know. But the added decorations give it a nice touch of Appel. It's up here. Truly, it's a beautiful little space. Those bed sheets, man, they're so cute. And next we have Rook. There's a reason Rook is his own category. You know, he's got his bow and arrows up here. There's like bow and arrows right here. And then the wallpaper's falling off and it has a bunch of pictures of a bunch of things that he took pictures of. Low-key feels kind of serial killery, but that's not Rook. He's just weird. He's just weird and observes people for fun. The only things the Snow White inspired rooms are missing are no dwarf representation or dwarf mind gems. But they're there. They're just not in the Pomfiore dorm. Again, the RSA, the Royal Sword Academy school, that's the rival to Night Raven College. That's where Snow White and the dwarves are. Rook must be descended from the huntsman. Yes, it's very clear. It is very clear. But his room makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable because of how vaguely empty it is, and the only things in here are weapons and hats and pictures hiding behind the wallpaper. I hope you're paying to fix that when you leave, Rook. I don't think you were supposed to do that. So, Rook. It's just borderline kind of like, what are you up to, sir? Why is your room like this? Should I be concerned? Next is Ignahide. Ida's room is classified as a disaster because of so many boxes and wires and tripping hazards. Rook is a master of max-minning. The opposite of min-maxing. Yeah, Ida's room. It's a mess. It's a disaster. Tripping hazards everywhere. And then you have Ortho's little fancy charging station up in here. So technically they used to share this room, but now they don't. But the charging station is still up in here because it's the fancier one. Yeah, he just has boxes of stuff lying around. And like, all these tripping hazard power strips everywhere. Like, bro, your room is borderline a hazard. And he's also like the type of person to be eaten while in his room, and I'm just like, Negative points. I like you, Ida, but your room is a mess. Ignahide must be a fan of hexagons. Yes, yes it is. It's a very common pattern in here. Also, the fact that the windows are like this is kind of, at least Ida's is kind of concerning. There's no real natural light going on in here. Natural light who? And he also has like a fancy little futuristic high-tech computer system going on up in here with like all these fancy little hologram touch screens. And he also canonically set up a satellite for better internet connection over the island just for him. That was the only way Ortho was able to escape during the Insomnia chapter visits, because Ida was like, we need Wi-Fi up in here. This Wi-Fi sucks. And also, I want to be able to access the stick stuff from here. So yeah, Ida, your room is a hazard. There's too many tripping hazards up in here. And also, you eat in your room. And there's no sunlight in here. You purposely have the blinds closed. It's hard to tell what time of day it is if you can't see. I love you, Ida, but man, I don't want to be in your room. He also has like a thing for his like phone, so he can just chill in his bed with the phone above his face. Is Styx as Ida uses it the name of a band? No. Styx is a super secret organization that his family is in charge of. It's like a hidden section of a bigger, more well-established company in this universe. Because his family is kind of like mega rich. Surprisingly. Ortho! Best boy! Best boy's room! It's cute, it's neat, I love it. And I don't know what this thing is in the corner, but it looks like that's the entrance way or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna assume it's like an entrance, like the entrance to the room. So Ida and Ortho are technically nipple babies because of Styx. Yes. Yes, they are. But Ida did not really bribe his way into Night Raven College. The only thing he bribed into Night Raven College was Ortho. Because it's like, I don't like people. I don't want to be around people. Can I bring my robot brother, please? And they just let him do it. Anyways, Ortho's room! He's got the Cerberus pixel art rug right there. I think that's very cute. He's got some figures up on top of his little closet thing that he doesn't really need to use for anything, but I love it. He's got little board game stuff up here and here. Like little posters, his own little computer setup here. It's so cute. So dorky. He's got like a bunch of little video game consoles up in here too. It's so cute. I love him. And then like charging ports on his bed and wires and stuff. But I must be fair, because it is kind of small. But it is nice and clean up in here. Nice, clean, cozy, friendly, livable. Ortho is the best room in the game! Changed my mind! Okay. He's been moved up a tier! He knows how to keep a room nice and clean. It emphasizes the aesthetics. Mess boy indeed. Next is Diasomnia. We're almost done. And this is Malleus's room. It's a very cold atmosphere up in here. But he has all these little flag things that are like souvenirs from Lilia. A select few. All of these rooms have these fancy little green candle chandeliers. Adds to an eerie atmosphere. And then this gargoyle thing, this dragon, this grotesque, as Malleus would call it, is handcrafted by Malleus himself because it's his hobby. And he also complains about the fact that the floors are too weak for his creations. Maleficent would be proud of this room, this dorm room. Yeah. It's very fancy, and like somewhere up in here there's a fancy little special pillow for Malleus and his horns. He has a special pillow for his horns. I also like the rug up in here. That's really cute too. Like, I love this pattern going on. He's got like his little desk too. But he's not really up in here that much because he doesn't need to sleep all that often. So he's usually just wandering the grounds, making his grotesques and repairing gargoyles and causing damage to the floors because it's heavy stonework. But his room, top tier aesthetics. A little bit on the cold side, but I love it. It's fancy. It belongs up in here. It's truly a fancy little prince room. A prince of darkness. Next we have Silver! Silver Ben Rouge! Or Silver if that's what you prefer to call him. They call him by his full name now. Anyways, the window is open. He feeds the birds. He has a bunch of alarm clocks up in here. I think these are bags of coffee or something. Like, this boy has issues waking up in the morning. And then this little owl thing, which I feel like was from Lilia, but I don't remember what this owl thing is from, but I know it's like a reference to, like, his family or something. But, yeah. It's very simple up in here. It's a very simple room. I just like the added detail of, like, 3 different alarm clocks. And that the window's open for the birds. This boy needs all the help he can get waking up in the morning. I love it. And again, the bed canopy thing. Extra points. We putting this up here. Well, no, we're putting this here because it's a little bit bland. Like, his bed sheets could be more cuter. But the touch of, like, the alarm clocks is funny. What about Cruel? Does he have a dorm? No, he has an apartment somewhere else. But we don't get to see it. We only get to see the boys' dorm rooms. We don't get to see the living quarters of the staff. Why does Silver's room literally look like a spruced up prison cellar dungeon? Because, I mean, it's Maleficent's castle vibes up in here. The rooms are just gonna be kind of... They're all very cold and brick. And it doesn't really help. It doesn't really help that the interior is very gray in here. And outside. It just looks like this, but I still like it. And I like how the wardrobe looks like it has like a bat on top. That's cute. And the bird's chilling in his room. Next we have Sebex. And as you can see, he has a portrait of Malleus that he talks to every morning. He wakes up to this portrait every morning, and it's very funny. It's also funny to imagine because this is a 4-person dorm room. His roommates are subjected to seeing this image every day. And questioning Sebek's sanity. His bedsheets are also a nice, lovely, minty green color. I love it. He has his workout stuff in here, too. He's a very studious boy, but I just... It's the portrait of Malleus that gets me. Sebek is gay confirmed. He has a deep admiration for his future king, okay? We do not judge here. But his room, since there's a little bit more of a pop of color up in here, is gonna go up in here because the portrait of Malleus gets me. It's something that he doesn't stop talking about too. It's so funny. I love it. Oh, Sebek, you silly boy. And last but not least, Lily of Rouge. This room is also classified as a disaster zone because there's so much stuff in here. A lot of stuff from his travels. There's a cute little bat rug up in here. Just throws countless artifacts just around his room like nothing. Just casually has boxes of treasure in there too. And here's his little computer where he plays games all night till 3 a.m. Because he too also doesn't really need to sleep. But instead of wandering the grounds like Malleus, he's just playing games with Ida without realizing he's playing games with Ida all night. I don't think they've made the connection yet that they're actually online friends. Lilia's is the most interesting room. Yes, indeed. But, there's a lot of stuff in here. Along with the fact that there's probably a bunch of cursed items in here, too, that are just casually laying around in here. That's kind of hazardous. His room is a little bit hazardous and disorganized, but yeah. It's just chaos up in here. Which makes me wonder what Lilia's room back in his house looks like. If this is some of the stuff that he's brought with him. And or has added to his collection of random junk over the years. He got bagpipes up in here too. He knows how to play many instruments apparently. He does not care about his closet. Yeah, his room is very lived in. I wonder what Crowley would do with Lilia's room, especially if he realizes some of his hoard is cursed. He probably wouldn't care. He really does not care. Crowley is just Crowley. But, you're going up in here, Lilia, because please get organized. You're leaving priceless artifacts around like it's nothing. Somebody could get hurt. But, that's everybody's room. There's all the dorm rooms we have. So many interesting styles going on. And a few disastrous ones up in here, but, it's like, I would probably classify Lilia's as a bit of a disaster zone, but it's still kind of, like, organized enough that it's just clean your room, please. Please put your hazardous materials away. Ida could be a millionaire selling his treasure on the black market. Oh, Ida. We love a gremlin otaku man up in here. He only ever leaves his room if he really has to. YouTube hate me! It didn't let me know you're live! Oh no! And we just finished ranking every room! Oh no! Oh no! Is there any character in particular who you want my opinions on for their room? Because I'll gladly finish with one of those. I'll have a Malleus moment and extend the invitation. Because I did go over, like, every dorm room. Including all versions of the ramshackle room. No, I have to watch back. And I guess Malleus. Malleus's room. I like it. I like it a lot. Even though it's got like a cold atmosphere going on in here, I like the fact that he just has this giant statue. Or as he would call it, a grotesque. Just chilling in here. And the fact that he made it himself is funny. Yeah, my notifications are always on, yet it didn't tell me though. Yeah, YouTube's broken too. YouTube is very broken. You know what would be interesting? A room inspired by Judge Doom. Ooh, that would be. The closest we have is the Hartslebeel courtroom, and it is odd in there. The perspective is crazy. Yeah, I also like that Malleus has the little flags from Lilia up in here. Yeah, like, I personally like the rooms that have more of, like, a castle aesthetic. Because, like, I do be liking Victorian era stuff when it comes to fancy fashion and whatnot. And something I've kind of realized a little bit later is that, like, on top of, like, all of these, like, closets is, like, a little bat. Everybody has, like, a little bat on their closet wardrobe. That floor, though, Malleus, what? That's just what the floors in Diasomnia look like. Not a fan. I mean, I like it, but I can understand why. Because it does remind me of, like, kitchen tiles. But at the same time, the way it's laid out here makes me think fancy castle floor. Also, if you want to know my opinion on Ortho, best boy. Best room in the whole game. Because, It's nice. It's organized. He's got his games. He's got his collectibles. Just chilling there. At least the bed is done, even if he probably doesn't use it all that much. And I like this little carpet that he has. This little rug. Little pixel art. This is just so cute. It's funny because he doesn't really need any of this stuff, but he's so cute. I think Kalim's is the best castle room. Best boy! Best boy ortho. Yeah, we can have some final thoughts on Kalim too. Again, I do love it. I love it very much. I love the bed. Like, I love like canopy things over the beds. That's just something that I love very much. I even like the pattern on here. It's just, I like everything in his room. And I like how there's a lot of pillows. I just want to chill in here with him. And we hang out and like just talk nonsense. Just chilling like a couple besties. That's the vibes I get from Kalim's room. What is the thing on the left of Ortho's room? Is that the door to his charging station? No, I think that's the door to enter the room in general. I think. At least that's what it feels like to me, because the dorms in Ignihide are not normal, so. Kalim, give me your bed. Yes. Some other highlights. Riddle. Top tier. I love this. I love this a lot. Like, if I could decorate my own room to look something fancier than what it actually is, I'd want it to look something similar to this. This is like my true aesthetic right here. Gee, wait, what if it rains? What if it rains a sandstorm? What happens? Kalim, take cover. I'm pretty sure there's like some sort of like magical field thing that prevents that. Riddle, I want your bed. I want his bed too. It's so fancy. Again, the canopy things. I love these things. I want one. I need one. Don't forget about the serial killer room and the Voyage of the Little Mermaid ride. Okay, Azuls. Real quick. As Marcus pointed out, the way that the bed looks kind of looks like one of the ride vehicles for the Little Mermaid ride at like Disney World. And I do agree, because I've been in there before. Along with the fact that it looks like, in general, it looks like there is a hole in this wall for the bed to be pushed into. It doesn't look like it's something that comes out of the wall. It looks like something that's in the wall, like carved into it. I love it. I want Azul's bed too. I like the bed sheets. I don't know how I feel like about a bed with the headboard that's like carved into the wall. But other than that, I love it in here. Again, the underseas vibes are very, very awesome. Oh yeah, in Rook's room. Rook's room makes me feel concerned. Like, I know you shouldn't be concerned because Rook is a dork of a person, but at the same time, he do be given stalker energy. Especially with those pictures hiding behind the wallpaper. Like, you know you could. You don't have to put them on behind the wallpaper. It's so plain. It's so plain yet creepy at the same time because of the, like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. He has books. He has photo albums. You don't need to do that. Now, if it was Savannah Claw Rook, it would be interesting to see what his room looked like during that era of his life, but we don't have it. But we do have, oh, bonus room. Bonus room. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I just remembered something. Why did I forget about this? We have a bonus room entry that I completely forgot about. Please tell me it's on here. Otherwise I'm gonna have to search for a bit. I think it'd be an other... Location. It's not in this one. Somebody, anybody. I know it's somewhere. I found it. I found it. Bonus entry for Rook Hunt. Bonus Rook Hunt entry. Rook's room in his dream. Now this is the room of an Idol fan. If I ever done see one. It's just pics of Vil and Neji. Don't forget Neji. It's split down the middle too. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to add this one later after I finish. Because I forgot. I mean, it's not technically a dorm room. I think this is just his room in his house. And it's just split between Vil and Neji. But like, this is like an alternate version of the room in his house because Vil is not an RSA student, clearly. But there's just so much in here. Along with the fact that Rook is also one of those characters who is surprisingly wealthy, but you wouldn't realize it because of just how weird he is as a person. Along with the fact that he doesn't really tell you anything about his past. This is all just stuff you kind of guess. But like, there's just so much going on in here. There's even like Zoom versions of Neji and Vil. There's just so many pictures. There's floor to ceiling merchandise, photo albums. Pictures he probably took himself. This picture of Neji vaguely looks like a bird, but I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. I just think it's funny that it kind of looks like a bird. Low-key want that room. Same. Low-key what I want my room to look like. Just amalgamation of everything that I have an interest in. I mean, it's almost getting there. I just don't have posters. I only have like 2 posters of like 2 different anime, but one of them fell off of the wall because of like, I don't know, heat or something. And that was the My Hero Academia poster. The JoJo poster is still fine on my wall. Yeah, bonus entry Rook. I'm gonna have to give that an SSR. SSR tier decorating. And that wraps it up for today. Tomorrow we're back to drawing ortho for the rest of the week. And probably next week we're gonna be starting on Wednesday. And then ending on Friday. That just depends on how things are looking today. How things are looking this week. But in general, yeah, we're just gonna be continuing ortho. Also, this room ranking thing is totally my way of celebrating the 5-year anniversary of Twisted Wonderland. I totally didn't forget that the JP server anniversary date is March 18th, which is like right after Sebek's birthday. I might try to throw something together for 5 years of Twisted Wonderland. It's been, I can't believe it's been 5 years of this game taking over my life. Rekindling my love for Disney stuff. And Black Butler. Those two are like connected forever now because of this. Along with the fact that this game is partially why I took a job at Disney World. I've been re-inspired again. The magic is here. It's not anywhere else. It's in this silly little anime boy game. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of for today. I still need to finish Black Butler. Oof. It's also just recently come back from hiatus. The manga. The manga was on hiatus for like a year. Probably because of all the Twisted Wonderland stuff. And now, next month, it is coming back. And it might be ending soon, but I don't know. Either way, I also need to catch up on Black Butler.